The Perfect Neighbor is a new documentary that got released on Netflix a couple of days ago. I think it was like last week. Oh, this is such a heartbreaking, horrific documentary. It has to do with the murder of AJ Owens, Shantra Owens, who's a mother of four. She got shot and killed by neighbor Susan Lawrence. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. This murder happened in 2022, 2023 in Florida. But for some reason, I never learned about it until I saw this documentary. This documentary premiered at Sundance and won an award for directing. It has fantastic directing, editing, and production. There's a couple of things that not only that I learned, but I think that it's important for everyone to learn from this documentary. Number one, you need to mind your own business. Number two, don't provoke, especially if you don't know that person well. Number three, pay attention when the warnings are out there. I felt that this murder case could have been avoided way before it happened. Susan broke record, and I don't know how many times she called police complaining about the neighbors, mostly the kids, because of they were making too much noise, or they were playing around where she was living. Basically, she was giving complaint time and time again. And in her case, she felt like the police were not listening to her. I do think that kids will be kids at the end of the day, but I feel that as parents, that parents in general need to, number one, not always keep an eye on your kids, but number two, it's better to advise on your kids like, you know what, let's just not go nowhere near that person's territory, just stay over here. In Susan's case, who's the murderer, she's probably, I don't know, maybe she has some mental health issues or whatever the case may be. From what I from what I was seeing in the documentary. Also, if you're not happy with where you're living because of neighbors, etc., then move somewhere else. But when it comes to a situation where you're cursing at kids, when you're making threats, or when you're about to approach someone, all of those things is not necessary. AJ, the mother who got killed, if it's indeed true that she did went to Susan's home, banging on the door, yelling and shouting before she got murdered, she was at fault as well in that regard. I feel like a whole bunch of people were at fault. The police were at fault. Susan was at fault. AJ was at fault. I don't think it was just only one person. I think there was a multitude of people that were responsible for all of this to happen. what's so heartbreaking about this are the kids. To witness such a horrific scene, and the part that was even more heartbreaking is when they were told that their mother passed away. Susan was arrested. She's doing jail time. The ending of the documentary, I just found it so unbelievable that Susan, she basically didn't want to go to jail. She was trying to fight off. She's saying like, kill me. Telling the police like, kill like, but I'm not going to jail. And they just kept insisting over and over. They did not they did not fold. They did not play to her games until she finally cooperated. But again, the bottom line is this could have been avoided had everyone had done their part. I have dealt with lousy neighbors. I have I have been disrespected. I've been through so much, whether it was at school or even outside of school. But it's important to control your emotions. You have to control your emotions. And if you don't know a person well, you have to be super careful because you don't know what a person might be thinking. You don't know what their intentions, especially when it comes to, because there's people that have mental health issues, which is true. But regardless, you don't want to underestimate anyone. And it's just better to stay in your own lane, mind your own business. Don't waste your time throwing temper tantrums. You avoid all of that because it's not worth it at the end of the day. And look what happened. It cost a life. Those kids' life are never gonna be the same because their mother's not gonna be around. And I can't stress this enough. It took more than one person for all of this to happen. A lot of people were at fault at this. My review for this documentary from 1 through 5, it bothered me. This documentary really bothered me. It's very good the way it was made. Mm, but my review from 1 through 5, I'll give this a 4.3 out of 5 stars.